Okay, right. Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. A big warm welcome from all of us here at the Academy. We're delighted to have you here today for the Meet the Team Year 2. And just a reminder that the purpose of today's meeting is to share with you information that you need for this year. And there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions in the chat. If there is anything that is unanswered during this time, please do reach out to your class teacher and they will be able to help you. Just to let you know, it is being recorded, and if I could just ask you to keep your microphones on mute, that would be fantastic. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I am the head of phase, Key Stage 1 head of phase this year. My name is Amy Rowlings and I'm delighted to be overseeing Year 1 and Year 2. I've been at the Academy now this is my 9th year, so it's wonderful to have been on that journey here and now in Key Stage 1. I must say, just before we get started, we have all been so incredibly impressed with all of your lovely children this week. The way they've come into school, so positive and enthusiastic. Their manners and behaviour has been absolutely impeccable. So they are a real credit to you. And we are very much looking forward to getting to know them over the year and yourselves. So I'm going to hand over now to our lovely head of year, Mrs. Bias, and she's going to introduce the team to you and they will take you through all the information for the year ahead. Thank you once again for joining us today.
Hi everybody, Mrs. Bias here. I'm hoping most of you already know me, but welcome to our new parents as well. So last year I was head of Year 1 and I followed the children up this year and I am now head of Year 2, which I'm very excited about. Now we have a lot of new faces on our team this year. I'd just like to introduce all of our wonderful Year 2 teachers to you. So in Class 2A, we have Miss Charlotte Priest. I don't know if you want to give a little wave, Miss Priest. There she is. I'm currently in Class 2B. I also have in Class 2C, we have Miss Claudia Crowther. There she is at the top there. And in Class 2D, we have Miss Susanna Green. And many of you will already recognise, we have Miss Roberts in 2E. I think she's there. She is. And in Class 2F, another new face, we have Miss Katie Huntington. And some of you will already know as well, we have Miss Noreen Masterson, who's there with Miss Huntington at the top. Thank you, Miss Rowlings. Okay, we also have some wonderful teaching assistants on our team in Year 2 this year. Some you may already recognise, but again, we do have a couple of new faces. So in Class 2A, we have Miss Jessica. In Class 2B with myself, we have Miss Michelle, who's just joined us here at the Academy. We have Miss Namely in 2C, Miss Nada in 2D, Miss Melinda in 2E with Miss Roberts, and we have Miss Anja in 2F and Miss Jinky in 2G, many of which were already in Year 2 last year, so not too much change. Okay, just to go over the school timings, we have a few different timings this year for primary. So drop-off for Years 1 to 4 is now at 7:15 to 7:45. Now we give a half an hour window to allow parents that flexibility and to also help with traffic. Pickup has changed from Monday to Thursday. Sorry, if I just ask if you can stay muted. Thank you very much. Okay, pickup now is at 3 p.m. However, we do open the doors at 2:50 just to have that 10-minute window at the end of the day, again to stagger it slightly. On a Friday, as you all know, all days are. Thank you. The school day is different. The drop-off, again, is 7:15 to 7:45. So the morning session is the same. However, the end of the day is earlier on a Friday, and pickup is at 11:50 for year 2.
How far do we need to go?
Okay. Now, drop-off and pick-up points. Now, we are a very large school, and I know for new parents that can be quite overwhelming sometimes. Hopefully, you will all get used to where everywhere is shortly. But it is quite easy for year 1 and 2. We're very lucky. We have gate 15, where we prefer you to drop your children off, and you can walk them into the year 1 and 2 playground. We have the year 1 and 2 classrooms on the ground floor. So if your child is in a year 2 classroom that's downstairs, it's easier for you because you can just drop them off straight at that classroom. But if you have a child who is in a year 2 classroom upstairs, so 2E, 2F and 2G, you can drop off your child straight opposite gate 15 at the double doors at the top near 1A. And the teachers will be there ready and waiting to collect your children and to guide them upstairs. Okay, I'm going to hand you over now to Miss Priest, who's going to talk to you a little bit more about our school transport services.
Thank you, Mrs. Bias. So the Academy offers a school transport service, and for those children arriving to school via the school bus, arrival in the morning will be between 7:15 to 7:40 a.m, depending on their bus route. For year 2 children, the buses will leave at 3:20 p.m. from Monday to Thursday, and on Fridays it will leave at 12:15 p.m. Please do take note of the contact details at the bottom if you want any further information about this service. I think one of the most important things that we wanted to say about the school bus is if your child does normally take the bus, but you decide to pick up one day instead, we do ask that you please make sure that you email your child's class teacher with plenty of time, but also CC in the email that you can see here on this page so that the bus coordinators also are aware of that, just to make sure that we know exactly how your child is getting home that day, whether they're being picked up or going on the bus. I think that's about it. So I'll pass you over to Miss Roberts now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'm going to talk about the timetable. And as you can see on the screen just here is an example timetable of actually my class in year 2. You can see that we've got 4 phonics lessons at the start of the day that start at 7:55. So I do just want to make sure that you are ensuring your children are on time for those sessions. School actually begins at 7:45 now, which is a bit different from last year. So it is important that your children are in school, ready to start the day. All of their things are ready, and then they're ready to go to their different phonics groups, and we begin that in the next couple of weeks. Your teacher will have already emailed you with your PE days. So for example, there's a PE lesson on Monday, and there will also be a swimming lesson as well. So we've already emailed all parents about when those lessons will begin and the expectations for uniforms, and making sure that they have the right equipment and things in at school for that. We also have Spanish in year 2, which is something new to this year. And I know that the children are very excited to begin their Spanish lessons. Some of those lessons have started this week, and some other lessons will be beginning next week. So the children will be meeting their new Spanish teacher. And then we also have music lessons with one of the music teachers. And you can see something else that's also in our timetable is a story slot every single day. So I know that our teachers over the last couple of years will have read stories to the children, but this is an actual timetabled slot now. So we ensure that every single day for 10-15 minutes, the story, a story is read to your children where we're able to share different characters and talk about different things that might be happening within a particular story or book. Thank you.
Hi, I am going to talk to you about our uniforms today, and I just want to let you know how well the children have been looking over the past week. They're looking neat and tidy in lovely blue shirts with either shorts or trousers in pinstripe for the boys, or the girls wearing their pinstripe skirts, or they have the option for trousers later into cooler weather, or their floral dress. So they look really smart with their house ties on as well. Last year there was a transition to the wet bags, and this year it is something high on our radar that we're going to ensure that every child has the correct bag with them for their school activities here in the classroom. So you can see there at the bottom that there are a different range depending on maybe on what house colour they are in that they can choose from. There's also a gym bag and a book bag for the children as well. You can already see with the picture that how smart they look in their uniforms, and it is very important that they represent GEMS WEC as best they can. As the winter cools down a little, you have the options then for cardigans and jumpers, especially if their AC is high in the school. They might want that option to have with them that they can keep in their bag or their cubbies here in the classroom. We also have a uniform for our PE days. So they wear their PE uniform on PE days, but also on their swimming day as well. There is a new PE uniform, but obviously this year is going to be a transition until you get up, because maybe you've had older children who might have the same colours, so you might reuse that, or you already have bought the older one. So the transition this year over the year is to get the new PE uniform. Again, they go with their house colours, and you can see that they come in the oinks, the white, red, black and green. So you have that's from FS1 up to year 11. So they have the option as well for leggings or the shorts. Sorry, the leggings are for year 10 to 11, so pardon me on that. So they wear those shorts. I was thinking I didn't see anybody in leggings at our level. You also then have the correct swimming gear available. So there is a navy and red or a black swimsuit, and they have options as well for their house colours in black, white and green. The boys then have the options of the shorts, and the swim caps are also available as well as trunks. So they're all available. The academy uniform is very smart, and the children look amazing in it, and we just want them to look as good as, or they want them to feel as good as they look, and we want them to realize that they're representing the school. So the neat, tidy looks. We also would like that hair is tied back for health and safety reasons, and just simple accessories are in the hair, that it shouldn't have any designs in there or dyed hair or anything like that. Also, our footwear should have should either be black formal school shoes and for white trainers for PE, and then you can wear black or white socks depending what suits the child. Jewellery such as dangly earrings, which would be a safety hazard if they get caught on anything, or if somebody is running by and they get pulled, you don't want any small accidents to happen. So as I said, we are having a big push on the bags being correct this year, and we hope that then we can celebrate special occasions where the children are invited to dress up in casual attire or in their country attire, maybe depending on the occasion. So cultural expectations then would match in with that. So I now would like to pass you to Ms. Coulter.
Hello, so I'm going to talk about the house teams and the house points. So each child should have been allocated a house. We have Pearl, Emerald, Onyx and Ruby, and the tie, as Miss Masterson said, should match the house. They receive house points in class to do with behaviour or what they're doing in their learning. So we have like persistence or teamwork, and there's other sections as well. They can also receive them outside of class, for example, in assembly, or if any member of staff has seen them do something really good. We really promote this in the school. So we have house captains in year 2 and year 5. So there will be 8 house captains in year 2, and their role is to promote house points. And also they get to speak in assembly as well. We add up the house points at the end of each term, and the winning house gets some sort of prize. It's a rewards day, so they really look forward to that. We also do fun house competitions each term, which should be emailed by your class teacher. So yes, that's everything on the house teams.
Hi everyone, so I'm going to speak about home learning. So Padlet is a platform that was used in year 1, so existing parents, you will probably be familiar with this platform already. New parents, I'm just going to talk through it briefly now so you become familiar with it. So as you can see on the screen, you will find in the English section the spellings for the week, and these link to the children's phonics learning in their groups. So you can find that there. Reading is our main focus as well. So we really want you to read with your children for 20 minutes each night. I won't talk about that in too much detail, as Miss Green is going to speak about that in the next slide. But that is the main thing we want to pass on, 20 minutes each night of reading. You will also find on there, as you can see in the maths and specialist section, there is apps that the school have subscribed to, such as Numbots, where children can focus on their core number skills, such as number bonds, doubling numbers, and we will use that to begin with in year 2, and then we're going to move on to Times Table Rockstars when the children start learning their multiplications, which is a great platform for the children to use to get those in their heads and to remember them. Also on there, you can see that the specialists are included as well. So anything that those teachers set will be included on there too. So it's a great space for you to see the home learning that your children need to complete. Also, to the right-hand side of the screen, we are going to, from week 3, start setting homework on a platform called Century. This is completely new, so we're going to send it out to parents, and on there we'll be able to cover all core subjects for the homework that the children need to complete. So that'll be on Century. I'm now going to pass over to Miss Green.
Hi everyone. So as Miss Huntington mentioned, I'm going to be talking a bit more about reading. So as she mentioned, 20 minutes a day is really what we do recommend, you know, across the academy. We really feel that reading is one of the most important things that we can do to help your child. It doesn't just help them, you know, within their literacy lessons and their English lessons. It really does help them across all areas and exposes them to new concepts and ideas. And one of the most important things is it really improves their vocabulary. I know at the school, with the amount of ELL learners we have, you know, some children have English as a second language, some children even speak 3 languages or more. So with reading, it really does expose them to this new vocabulary, and as well, it really gets them into the way of reading, as it's such an important skill they will use right throughout life. With regards to reading within school, we promote 2 things. So the first is obviously personal reading at home, and secondly, we will be giving out 2 books a week. As year 1, you will know, coming up from year 1, that the children do Read Write Inc, which is the scheme they use for their phonics. So the children will be able to get their reading book that will link to their Read Write Inc. So this will be tailored to their level that they're at. This will go out once a week, and it will return the next week, and you will have the whole week to read that book with the child. Also, they will get a library book. Now, this will be a book the children will choose in their library during their library slot, and this will be one that's maybe interesting to them or one they would like to choose. So that is the 2 books we'll be putting home. But of course, what we really do encourage is personal reading. You know, if the children are interested in maybe a certain topic or a sport or something, just really to encourage that love of reading. You know, we really instill it in here at school. So it's really important that this is instilled at home as well, as it will progress the children. I'll just pack you back to Miss Vyas, who will be able to go on a bit more about our reading rockets.
Thank you, Miss Green. As Miss Green mentioned, we do promote a love of reading across primary, and our Year 2 children will be used to our reading rocket system by now. It's very exciting for them. They record their daily reading in their reading passports, which they will have home this week. We should be sending them home on Wednesday. So any books that your child reads, it doesn't have to be their phonics book or their library book, any books at all that you've got at home. We always promote a variety of reading. Please record those in their reading passports. We then tally up how many books they've read that week, and that is how they move up their reading rocket. Now, once they have read 50 books, they are able to enjoy a tea party. Now, they get very excited about this, so please, parents, make sure that you are tallying up those scores for them. Okay, now, as you can see, these are some useful apps that the school has subscribed to. Now, I know Miss Huntington touched on some of these before, but we will be using Numbots, which focuses on their core number skills. There are other ones that we recommend, such as Epic. Now, the school has not subscribed to Epic, but it is actually a free resource during certain times of the day. There are thousands of books on there for them to read, and they absolutely love it. There's also some audio books on there, so if your child is ELL, this definitely supports their language skills. We also have Busy Things. Now, the children do use those in school as well. We will send out their logins so that you can access Busy Things at home. It's a wonderful platform. You can look at all core subjects and look at a variety of activities that they would cover throughout the year in Year 2. And again, as Miss Huntington mentioned, Century is new to Year 2 this year. If you have any children in Key Stage 2, you'll already be familiar with the platform. For Year 2, we are just going to use it for homework, and that will be set on a weekly basis on a Friday. Okay, we also have an Instagram page for each year group, but this is our name for Instagram. So if you would like to take a note of that, and we will post student photos and videos on a weekly basis so that you can catch up with what your child has been learning in class and so that you can see visually as well. Okay, I'm going to pass you over now to Miss Roberts, who's going to talk to you about healthy eating in our school.
Okay, so as you may be aware, we are a healthy eating school. You can see a picture here of a lovely, healthy lunchbox. I've seen a couple of these in my classroom, but I have also seen lots of different snacks and chocolate and things like that as well. Now, please do remember that lunchboxes must contain a healthy snack and lunch. Your child really does need at least 1 bottle of water a day. We do recommend 2 for PE days. However, we do have refillable stations around the school where your child will be able to refill their bottles. In class, we have healthy eating monitors. So we are going to be ensuring that those children are looking around at what the children have in their lunch boxes and giving stickers out to anyone that they notice with healthy lunches, healthy snacks. We do have Treat Tuesday. So as I mentioned a minute ago about chocolate and things like that, Children can bring in a treat on Tuesday. However, please remember that this isn't or shouldn't be a whole lunchbox full of lots of unhealthy foods. By Treat Tuesday, we mean maybe one thing in your child's lunchbox that might kind of be a little bit unhealthy, maybe chocolate biscuits, maybe something that's a little bit chocolatey. But the whole lunchbox should not just be full of donuts and things like that. So please do remember Treat Tuesday, just for one treat on a Tuesday only. FS1 to Year 2 can pre-order their food from Slices, but you do need to make sure that you order this online and it will be delivered to the classroom. Students will not be able to go to the canteen to get their snacks. If you're wanting them to buy them, you do need to make sure that you order this online, and this is in the Academy Guide. And another important reminder is please no nuts in school and no pork products either. We do have children with nut allergies in Year 2, so it is important to remember that these snacks are not permitted. Your children should also not be sharing those snacks as well. I know that some children always say that they want to share some of their things with their friends, but please do remind your child that they shouldn't be sharing their snacks with others. This is mainly for allergies, so please do remind your child of that. Back to you, Mrs. Byas.
Thank you. Okay, so here we have some familiar faces again, but also we have Miss Anya, who's joined us as school counsellor. We have Miss Susanna Johnson, and we also have our Director of Inclusion, Miss Bradwell. We are extremely lucky at this school to be able to offer school counselling to all of our children and also to parents too, if needed. If you feel like your child would benefit from any of these options, please do get in touch with your class teacher and we can help you with that. Okay, here we have some useful academy contacts. As I said, we're a very large school and it is vitally important that you know who to contact and for what. We will send this out as well so that you can have these, but if you also want to potentially take a screenshot of those, I do recommend. Okay, parent communication. Now, it is very important to us here at the Academy that we have clear communication between school and parents. Now, every Friday, we will send an email to all parents, and this will give you information about what your child has been learning that week and what they'll be learning the following week. It will also give you information on any important dates or any important information that might be coming up, just so that you can be organised for the week ahead. Again, like I mentioned, we also communicate with parents via social media. We also contact you via email and phone calls as well. Now, our doors are always open. You do not have to wait for a parent-teacher meeting. Just if you see your child's teacher on the door on a day-to-day basis, we can have a conversation with you there. But if you would like a little bit more privacy, we can always arrange to meet you elsewhere as well. We also send reports on the children's academic progress throughout the year, and these are in a lot more detail. But like I said, you don't have to wait for your child's report to find out how your child is getting on in class. You can ask the teacher anytime. We also have parent workshops and student-led conferences throughout the year, and these will always be communicated in advance to you. Now, we do have parent WhatsApp groups, which are fantastic for socialising and for our community. If you would like to set a parent WhatsApp group up for a class, just get in touch with your class teacher and they can help you with that. Okay. So I'd just like to say thank you very much, and I'll hand you over to Miss Rawlings, our head of phase.
So much, Mrs. Byas, and thank you so much to the Year 2 team for all the information there. I'd also like to thank you parents on behalf of us all here for joining us this afternoon. If you do require any further information or clarification, then please do reach out to your class teacher. You will also find a lot of useful information in the Academy Guide, which has been sent to you already. But as Mrs. Vyas said, we have an open door policy. Please do approach us as and when you have a question or concern of any sort. We really do value your support here, and we're very much looking forward to getting to know you and your lovely children this year. So thank you once again for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you very soon.